wherever you're watching us from. We're excited to have you here. Today's talk event is on the future of analytics. And we're so thankful that we have amazing Tableau visionaries here with us to guide us through everything. So for today's agenda, it's really quick and really cute. And what we'll be doing, we'll be talking to Pablo, Tristan, Cristian, and Will, and they'll be sharing with us the amazing things they have in store for us. So Pablo will be sharing color mastery and the power of color in storytelling. Tristan will share on AI in action using ChatGPT with Tableau extensions, while Cristian and Will will be sharing on land and expand AI capabilities with Tableau Langchain. So these are experts from all around the world, and we're grateful that they're here with us. So if you could just say hi, Pablo, hi, Tristan. Just hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, it's great to have you. With other good news, our talk just passed 500 members. So yay. So in the chat room, just say hi to us from wherever you're watching us. So hi from Egypt, thank you. And hi from France. Thank you so much to everyone joining us. We're so grateful to have you here. If you are joining our meeting, but you're not still a part of our community, just scan the QR code to join us. So first on today's agenda, we'll be talking to Tristan. So Tristan is the co-founder of La Data Viz, a data visualization studio that specializes in custom tools, consulting, and training to help people unlock the full potential of their data. He has a strong background in Tableau, Figma, and web technologies. Today, he'll be sharing about ChatGPT extensions. Specifically, his topic is AI in action using ChatGPT with Tableau extensions. It enables you interact directly with your data, so you can ask it to analyze your data, prepare slides, recommend chats, or any other questions. I am excited to see him demo this, and I just can't wait. And I hope everyone sits tight and you get to learn so much from Tristan. So the floor is all yours now, Tristan.
Yes,
Thank
thank you a lot for this introduction. Thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone. So my name is Cristian. I'm from France, and right now I am actually in France, which is not common. I hope you can all see my screen. Just let me know yes or no because I cannot see you anymore. All
Yes, we
good?
can see that.
Yep, perfect. Thank you. Today I'm going to talk about AI in action and also explain a bit how I came to do this quick demo of like trying to do something with ChatGPT and Tableau combined with this extension. So yeah, first, thanks for organizing this event, this talk about AI. I think everyone is like a subject that everyone likes to talk about right now. Also, thanks for everyone who connected, who joined this meeting and to see the presentation. So, like you say, my name is Tristan Guillevin. Introduction was perfect. Co-founder of La Dataviz. Actually, to this year is a bit special for me because I've been using Tableau officially for 10 years. So I published my very first Tableau public visualization 10 years ago. And just a quick history of how I arrive at this point today to present to you. In 2017, I was lucky enough to go to Las Vegas and compete for the Unveil competition. And then after that, I was kind of, okay, this is like the kind of ultimate championship in Tableau. What can I do that goes beyond the borders of Tableau, right? Beyond the boundaries of Tableau. So I started to kind of try to combine different tools. So in 2019, I combined a lot like Tableau and D3 to make network, to make Voronoi, to make Bubble Tree. Just trying to see what could I do. I was no longer stuck in Tableau, but just trying to combine different tools. Those ideas and this combination allow me to become a Tableau visionary in 2020, and that's also the year that I quit my job and I started my own company, starting just working as a freelance under the name La Dataviz. And really what I was trying to do is like, of course, a lot of consulting at the beginning, but also trying to develop tools that would help the community to be more efficient with Tableau. So one of the first tool that we have released and that really that people liked a lot is Adviz. So I don't know if you have tried it, but if you want, you can just search Adviz in our on Google, and you will see this kind of advanced visualization generator that allow you to build those advanced charts completely for free that you can then publish on Tableau Public. A lot of people started using this tool, and for us, it was like kind of validation that yeah, there is a space for us to create tools for the community. We also created the Figma to Tableau plugin. So, like the name said, you design in Figma and you can export directly to Tableau. And last year, the big new things that we worked on was Viz extension. So Viz extension was that new capability that Tableau introduced, that you could create advanced visualization now directly inside Tableau, and you could use, for example, like a radar chart directly without any calculation. So that for us was really a bit of a game changer. And today, I'm actually here to show you a new kind of Viz extension we are working on that is not necessarily a Viz extension. Today also, I'm no longer working by myself. I am working with Jessica about it. So it's really like a company of two. So everything that you see is built by Jessica and I. And we are lucky to be a Tableau partner, which allow us to collaborate a bit more closely with Tableau also to build those different tools. So AI in action, using ChatGPT with Tableau extensions. So why did we choose Tableau extensions? So for a long time, Tableau visualization was just X and Y, right? If you need to make a donut chart in Tableau, if you want to make a Sankey or those kind of things, before you needed to calculate the coordinate of your different points to make Sankey and stuff like that. And that was kind of the big change with this extension was right now, a Tableau visualization, what you have in your worksheet is no longer just X and Y. Today, with this extension, you can create a network chart by just putting category in source and manufacturer in target, and then you have a network, right? And there is no X and Y in column and rows. It's really the Viz extension that takes care of doing the rendering. Of course, at some point, there is still some X and Y calculation to make your node, but those are not happening in Tableau anymore. And then we started to develop multiple Viz extensions, so the tree, radial, string graph, and more. Also things that are not necessarily Viz. So for example, here you see the drill down filter. So it's it's exactly what it is. It's a drill down filter, so not necessarily a visualization. Also the KPI counts that we will release soon, which again is not just a visualization, but also has like calculation and the like last year calculation and some text and some information like that. So this extension, we started to see that it could really help us to go even more beyond those boundaries of visualization in Tableau. And like I said, the visualization is a bridge between Tableau and any web technology, right? Anything that you could do with JavaScript, so for example, D3, but more, anything that you can render on a website, you can now render it in your worksheet, in your Tableau worksheet, connected to your data. So what we thought is like, well, we could call the OpenAI API inside your Tableau worksheet to try to have a conversation with your data. And the best opportunity that we had to try this was during the Tableau conference, so a few weeks ago, so a month ago actually, right now, when Tableau organized a Viz extension Shark Tank. So we thought it was a bit funny, and the idea was like, you have a 1 week to kind of work on a new Viz extension, something new, and you're going to come to the Shark Tank, and you will have like a few sharks, so people that work at Tableau, that are going to judge our Viz extension and kind of try to comment on it and to give feedback and to give advice or to ask us questions, right? So it's a bit like we had to demonstrate a new Viz extension and try to get some feedback and some ideas on how we could make it better. So for us, this was really the best opportunity to see, okay, let's see what is the reaction from the people if we kind of do this kind of open AI in Tableau, like this chat GPT inside Tableau. How would that work, and are people interested in it? So what I'm going to show you is really just the result of just a few days, even less than a few days, like a few hours of work that we put into a new Viz extension that allow you to speak to your data. So keep in mind that we may change a lot of things in the future. And also what is really important for me is like that you give us feedback into, do you think this is a good idea? What would you like to see? And if you have any question after, I'm happy to answer. So we are in Tableau now, and in my marks, I can click here, and currently it's called Open Dev. That's that's really not the final name. But what happened when you click on that, you have this analyze, smart insight, chart advice, SEO summary, and storytelling. This is just like pre-defined kind of prompts, ideas that you can have. And because it's a viz extension, it only knows the context of what you are drag and dropping in your marks, right? So we created just two marks, dimension and measures. So let's go ahead. For example, if I take my subcategory in dimension and I will put my sales, maybe my discount, and maybe my profit in measures. So, okay, I have a subcategory sale, discount, profit. Now I can, for example, say analyze data. And then automatically I will have like the answer from ChatGPT based on what I drag and drop, and I will have like key insight. For example, while chairs is the highest sales amount. I don't know if you can see correctly. Followed by phones, the lowest sale is fastener, but we have also negative profit that is happening in tables and bookcase. And what and of course this I cannot really control the output of what is say like, but and sometimes it's now right now is the new model is often really really correct, but sometimes it does this really smart thing of being like, hey, I have noticed that binders have the highest average discount, and it has and their profit is moderately positive, suggesting this discounting may be strategic. So yeah, I don't necessarily will read everything, but sometimes is able to, just from what I've drag and drop, that we have an issue with the discount in our sample superstore that is driving the profit down, right? I guess if I click smart insight, that is another one. So I will have really like some key insight, again, like the high discount outlier. So binders have like a really high discount. And then we also try to imagine what usually we do for our client. So I know a lot of people we work with, ultimately what they like to do with Tableau is also to kind of summarize everything in a PowerPoint, right? So here we have the storytelling, which will kind of create the slides for you, not the actual slide, but tell you what to put in the different slides based on what you have drag and drop. And now the idea maybe is like we have subcategory, but what if we also add maybe our country in dimension and maybe also our order date? So we add more dimension, so more information. And let's just click storytelling to see what it's going to say. And now, based on your data, again, you have recommendation of how you could put your slides, your different slide. And again, this is based on your data, right? So ChatGPT will kind of try to find out outliers, interesting data point, maybe some like we put the date, so maybe there is some recurrency in your sales. So this is just some example of so for example, slide 6 is about the tables. You have like you have like a challenge in your profit, but you have strong sales, etc. What we also wanted to do is, if we keep something a bit more easy, is also to try to answer this usual like, what can I do? How can I visualize my data? So let's just remove all of that, and let's keep country, year of order date, and sales. Actually, I've never tried this, so let's see what kind of chart advice we receive if we have country, year, and sales. So it's thinking. So the best way to will be to have a line chart for the trends over years. I don't know, small multiple. Yeah, I think that would be good. So if you have like the map, that is the map with the 4 years, heat map, bar chart with yearly sales condition, and at the end it's like for inspiration, export some Tableau public galleries such as this and this. It's really cool. Unfortunately, it just generate garbage link. So if I click on that, it will never go to any Tableau public visualization. But the idea is there. So really, what we try to do is to have this kind of conversation that you don't necessarily know how to start. and you don't know what to do with your data, but you can have this predefined thing or ask your own question. So for example, if I put my subcategory here, and I would just be like, and let's say I would like to, oh, you know what, I'm going to put my different product name because that's maybe a bit more interesting. And I'm going to say, let's say that in my data set, I just had the name of the product, but I would like to have a smart way to group my different product. I guess I could also ask, can you create, can you create or advise me on groups for my different products? Let's ask. And again, based on the product name that I have here, it may be like you can have, okay, office equipment, furniture, supplies, accessories, phones and communication, cleaning and air quality. That is typically one that we don't have in the subcategory. So, and then you could ask, what is I humidifier, vacuum cleaner, homes. Can you give some examples of product? Oops, sorry. Can you give some example of products that will go in clean and air quality? Just so normally it can read my data. So oops, in well, clean and air quality. Okay, so seems like I don't know if we have those products actually in the list, but it would be interesting. Do we have that beyond there? Yeah, okay, we do have some air cleaner in our product. So why not? Like ChatGPT recommended us to maybe create product group a bit different than the subcategory we have, and yeah, so this demo is never twice the same because I always go in different direction. I always be like, oh, what is the idea? Like when I presented in San Diego, I was like, will tariff have an impact on the sales of my product? And then he was able to be like, well, there is new tariff that are put, and maybe if you are importing it from country like China, then yeah, you will need to raise your price. This kind of thing. So you can also have a conversation really with the actual your actual data in the actual moment that you ask those questions. And just to finish the demo, like the demo is finished, but the cool thing is like for the Viz extension Shark Tank, we actually won, as in people thought that this was the extension that had the most um, potential. So I'm also curious, what do you think? Do you think it's is something that could add value to Tableau or not? um, and really closing thoughts for me, like I'm trying to think about the future of Tableau, and I see all of the AI, the Tableau next, and those things that are made by Tableau. I also see on the other hand that there is a version of Tableau that is more and more open. During Devs on Stage, we saw the authoring API. So imagine if we could combine what we just did right now with authoring API that could actually create the charts for us based on what we ask. So a bit like yeah, just some ideas. So I do think we also have a space, and as Tableau is getting more open and is giving us more and more APIs to play with, I think it's also a good thing that we explore those things, and we can do those things now with the different API. So really what I try to always share as a message is like always focus on learning new stuff, always try to focus on experiment with those new tools that we have, and share them. For us, this is really how we manage to thrive as a small company, is really try to take the new things that is coming, experimenting with it, sharing, and then releasing something for the public. And if you are interested, so yeah, that's us, Jessica and I at La Data Viz. And if you are interested in kind of growing your skills in that, I recommend you to join the Tableau Developer Program. We are data devs, and this is where you can learn to do these kind of things. And also I recommend you to join Tableau Data Dev Quest, which is like a monthly challenge that show you how you can use the different API. So probably I don't think there is, or they might be a OpenAI data dev quest, but also typically these extension API or those things, how you can build extension on Tableau. This is really the best place to learn how to do these kind of things. So yeah, this was my quick demo. I say thank you. I will let you, if you want, or it's not important, I can put it in chat, the different links we have. And yeah, if we still have time, I'm happy to answer a few questions. And if I went a bit too much over time, then I'm happy to also leave my spot to another person.
Oh, that was awesome, Tristan. I think there's been like a few back and forths in the chats, sort of a few questions here and there, but largely
Mhm.
lot of interest, a lot of hype, a lot of minds
Cool.
blown, which is awesome to see. Which is exactly what how I was feeling as well. Um, okay. I think yeah, if you hang around for a bit, if you want to share anything you've got in the chats and answer any of those questions, and if people in the audience
Yeah,
have questions, yeah, we can
did you
take
spot
a couple minutes.
any questions that I don't know if?
I can help you with that if you want.
Thank you.
One of the questions was about the how you work with the license of the of ChatGPT. If it's pro, if it's not. We'll say that it's around the API calls and have a
Yes.
money integrated, but basically that was one of the questions.
Yeah, so like this is ChatGPT is one ththing, right? That you go on chatgpt.com and you ask, and then you can have your subscription. This is just using the OpenAI API. So I have pre-defined prompt. Also, when you write something that you want to ask, it sends that question to the API, and then you get an answer. So right now, every time that I have a question in this demo, I had to pay to get the answer. Right? It's like you use your API. Tokens coin. So of course, if that is ever released, either we will ask you to put your own OpenAI key, and then you handle the cost, or it will be it will have to be some kind of subscription of like you can use it, and per month you can use it this amount. Like of course we cannot give that for free, because then we will have like thousands of questions that we will have to pay with our own API. So either you use your own API or you have a subscription, like any of the other AI tools that you see right now on the market. Yeah.
There is a couple of more questions. Then one
Yep.
of them is say, Joe Consastino say, how is querying the data and getting these values in the and insights?
So that is actually what Viz extension is. So Viz extension is like whenever you drag and drop things on your marks, then the worksheet itself can access the data that you have drag and drop. Like if you want more information about that, we explain like there is a lot of content around Viz extension that I recommend to you. This is exactly the same as when you use the Sankey Viz extension for that Tableau created, or any of our, and then you put things in your levels and your nodes. I don't know how they called it, but basically every time you drag and drop something, that web page in the middle in the worksheet reads the data and then do something. And that do something can be absolutely anything. In that example is like reading it and passing it to OpenAI. And that also, of course, answer the question. Probably, I'm quite sure there is one question about that, about security and sending your data to OpenAI. Of course, that is completely up to you. Um, Another idea was that allowing people to use their own model. So if your company has its own model, then you query this one instead of ChatGPT, or instead of OpenAI, or you could query what is the other one that is coming recently, Llama, whatever. Like you could choose your different model, or Claude, whatever. um, but yeah, in the end, it's like you are still sending your data to a LLM that is making the answer, and then that choice of like you could use your own LLM, or you could use an existing one. So yeah.
And there is a couple more, but to summarize, I think that the one that may be interesting to, because
Mhm.
other people say, hey, I want to know more about that. One is about if there is any limitation on the number of fields that you can drag and drop to the extension. And the second one is the if you are using Langchain or another method to connect to ChatGPT.
So For the first question, like the first part, as in what is the limit? I think it's the limit of the amount of token you can pass through the API, which is increasing every month, kind of. So that we are really on a rapid growth of like the number of token you can put. I guess right now there will always be like I cannot say there will always be a limit, but there is no limit in the amount of pills that you can drag and drop, right? That you can put everything if you want, but then there will be a limit in how much data can you send to the API for it to grasp what you put and then make an answer. I guess maybe eventually in terms of pricing, it will be like, okay, do you want more tokens? Do you want to put, but also at some point it's like, do you want to put like your 1 million rows into, you could, and maybe ask for summary of your data. Is ChatGPT or any LLM the best place to do that? Maybe not. Maybe I think sending aggregated data is still kind of the way to go to not let it do the aggregation. That is kind of a feeling. And the second part of the question, I'm not sure I understood it. But
The
let
last one was about the how you connect to ChatGPT. Basically, the person asked directly if you are using Langchain. That, by the way, is the project that Will and me is going to share at the end,
okay,
or if you are using another way.
I'm not using that. I'm using really just like sending the through the OpenAI query. I'm just sending like raw text. So every of those the buttons that I have on top, they have a predefined query that is just sent among the your data in like a really tabular way of like, okay, this is this is the data that I received and this is my question. And I will be really then interested in seeing more what you are going to show, Will and Christian, because I think this is like a domain that is growing so fast that is really difficult to know everything that is happening. So yeah, every time there is new things. So no, I'm not losing using LinkedIn.
Fully agree.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Tristan. Thank you for
Yes.
Christian as well for doing the Q&A.
Yes,
That
thank
was
you, thank you.
unexpected.
You see that he's
Um,
used to do it in the communitatos, right? He's like, I know how to do that. So,
Awesome.
if you have more questions, just don't hesitate. Like, send them to me. I can put like, you can contact me at this link. This is our website. You will find all of our tools and everything there. So don't hesitate. There is a form. If you have more questions, if you want to know more things, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you a lot for the invitation to speak. It was great. Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Awesome, Tristan. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Okay, let's hand over to our next speaker. So Pablo, I know you've put down this awesome presentation about color, but I know deep down there was a GPT working behind the scenes to help people out with color palettes. Uh, Could you? Yeah, I'll give you the floor to you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Hello, and wherever you are. I'm Pablo. I'm here in London, in the UK at the moment. It's sunny London, which is very unusual for this kind of place and this time of the year as well. I'm going to do a very brief introduction of what color mastery and the power of color in data visualization and data storytelling is in my presentation. First of all, and most important, thank you so much for being here, for joining. This is the short version of my presentation at Tableau conference. Like I said, my name is Pablo Gomez. I'm a Tableau visionary, Tableau public ambassador for a few years now. My website is data.monster, where you can find lots of different things, and there's a lot more coming as well. So there are some interesting news and things that I've been developing for the website. Feel free to connect on LinkedIn. I'm always happy to connect with new people and stay in touch. So let's get started. So let's go super quick about what color is and a very quick color introduction onto our subject, right? So color is nothing more than waves that got into our eyes, basically, and it's what they actually make our visualization more powerful and our data storytelling even more interesting. Have you ever looked at a visualization and probably feel something about it? right? Like sadness or interesting or intrigue or happiness or something about that. Well, basically, that's because colors bring what we call a lot of feelings about on our visualizations. So it's something very important that we always have to understand, that it help us, the colors help us to understand and feel something about what we see. And it's super important to pick the right colors on our in our visualizations. It also helps us to find and see patterns that we probably couldn't find in other ways unless we actually use the proper colors. And it also helps us to influence how we feel, where to look, where to focus our attention when we see some of the visualizations. So, with all that in mind, it's super important that we also have something in mind when we build our visualizations. And every single one of our visits should speak to everyone, regardless of how they see the data. Did you know that there are 300 million people around the world that are that have color vision deficiency, or what we call also colorblind? 1 in 12 men are affected by are colorblind, and 1 in 200 women are also affected by this condition. Now, this is a normal vision. This is what we most people will actually see when we look at red, amber, green, or the famous rags, for example. However, a colorblind person or a person with color vision deficiency will see something like this. So it's always something super important that you bear all this in mind, because our visualizations should be available, accessible to everyone. Now, this is just an example, an idea, and of which colors we can use when we are looking at red, amber, greens, for example. Instead of using the typical red, amber, and green colors, this is one of the many possibilities that you can actually use. There are quite a few other options, but I just wanted to show you one of them. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you is how to capture those colors, right? Super important. It's colors inspiration is everywhere. Everywhere we go, anywhere we go, there's always something that can inspire us. But suddenly we usually say, okay, how can I keep those colors? How can I get those colors into my visualizations later on? So what I'm going to introduce you super quick now is what I use. I use this tool, this app, which is called Adobe Capture. Basically, it's free to use. You can actually use it. You can download it yourself, install it, and create an account. I was one day walking a few months ago. I was walking very early in the morning. Yes, I'm a very early bird, 6:20 in the morning, and I saw those lights basically. And I said, okay, I took that picture and I wanted to create a color palette later on. So I uploaded that picture into Adobe Capture, and Adobe Capture automatically got those colors for me, that color palette, those harmonious colors that work together. As you can see, it will pick some colors that will work together. Now, each one of those dots, you can then, with your finger, you can move them around and you can rearrange and customize the colors that you will like best. Sometimes it doesn't, usually 90% of the time, it does a really good job, but probably you might need something to redo something or retouch something. So with the finger, you can actually change the colors. Now, it will also show you where they sit in the color wheel, and it will give you all the hex codes, RGB codes, and the brightness. So you can actually download it later on and take it to any other design tool that you might even use. All this is great. You take a picture, you use it, and all that. But then again, sometimes I wanted to find inspiration on using something that we usually use nowadays, and we usually use so much, is ChatGPT. So after a few attempts of asking the same prompt or using the same prompt with ChatGPT to create different color palettes, I created my own color palette generator GPT. And basically, all I asked was, okay, this is what I want, and this is what I want you to do for me. And because every visualization deserves not just the default colors, but a really, really good color scheme, right, to bring your story to life. That's why I created the GPT. You can use it, you can access it, and I just added the link onto the chat, so you can access it with, and you can do it with me, or you can use it later on as much as you want. It's all free, it's there, it's available, and you can use it as many times and as much as you want. You don't need a paid version. It could be a free version of ChatGPT, or it could be a paid version, either the Pro or the Plus, but you can use it as you wish, right? Okay, and without further delay, we're going to jump onto ChatGPT. Are we ready? Give me your thumbs up if you're ready, right? To go into the demo. Now, this is the tricky part of the presentation, and I said the same thing when I was at the conference. This is ChatGPT, right? Yes, Scott, who's Gomez Zucchini? I don't know who that person is, but yes, it will be another version of me in another dimension, probably somewhere else. Um, uh, this is where everything can go absolutely right or absolutely wrong. So this is ChatGPT. Sometimes it cooperates, sometimes it doesn't. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will go okay. Because I speak Spanish and English, I just created a very simple, quick intro onto where to kick. Basically, we're going to do the English version, unless you want to do the very Spanish version, but it will be the same option. So basically, what it's actually asking us is, what theme is your visualization about? What kind of colors? What kind of specific style do you prefer? Professional, vibrant, minimalistic, earthy? Those are examples. And any color restrictions and preferences? Basically, all we're going to say is, I am speaking about AI and the future in data visualization, and would like a bold and colorblind That's all I'm going to say for now. You can be as extensive as you want. You can actually upload a picture if you wanted to as well. That's absolutely fine. I mean, there's no short or long answer. We're just going to due to time, we're going to do it very, very quickly, and we're going to set ChatGPT to start working about it. It's going to think. It's going to create a bold, vibrant, and colorblind friendly color palette. Right? It's analyzing what we want to create and to build. This might take a couple of seconds, and it's actually giving us the color palette, right? Now, there's two things I can do here. This is just an image. I can download this image and open it anywhere I want. It's actually giving me all the hex codes, and it's telling me what the names are. I can actually use this, right? Or I can say, it's all good, but I would like another option, and please add a sixth color, right? So we're going to see what else is actually bringing, and apart from the 5 that originally we create, it will add us a sixth color, and that's the new option that it's actually giving us. Let's say that we like this one. Let's say that this is the one we want to use, right? It's asking me now, okay, if I want to add it to the Tableau preferences file. Have you ever changed your color palettes or added new color palettes to the preferences file by any chance? I'm reading you in the chat. Yes or no, right? If you haven't, I'm going to show you super quick how it works. I'm going to say to Tableau, yes, please. Julian, not yet. Okay, now is a really good time. So basically, everything it's going to do is it's going to give me 2 hex XML codes, basically. One is the regular color palette, and the other one is the sequential color palette. And we're going to see the difference between the two of them, right? First thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my documents, right? If you're using a PC, under my documents, you have this folder called My Tableau Repository. And if you right click on this file called Preferences and you open with Notepad, that file, and I bring it over here to the screen, what you can see is basically some other color palettes that I have built or created in the past. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this code, come back here, and under preferences, I'm going to add this, right? And it's called, it has given it a name like AI Future Bold Regular Type. And then again, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to give some space as well. And I'm going to add the second color palette. So we have the two color palette, the sequential and the regular one, basically. And next time I go into Tableau, right, first of all, we have to save this, super important, right? Now, if you, by any chance, have Tableau open, Tableau Desktop open, I do recommend you close it and reopen it again. Otherwise, you will not be able to see those two color palettes, right? That's something that you have to do. Save your work, reopen Tableau Desktop, basically, and that's what I'm going to do right now. We're going to open Tableau Desktop, and we're going to bring it over here as soon as it opens onto this screen. We're going to bring it onto this screen, and I'm going to open this workbook. Within this workbook, what we're going to be doing is basically, this is the normal color palette, the default color palette, right? And if I come over here to edit the colors, as you can see, is the automatic one. And if I scroll all the way down, what we have is the two color palettes that we just created, right? And as you can see, these are the colors that ChatGPT created for us. As you can see, if I come back here, those are the colors that ChatGPT created for us, and they are in our Tableau desktop. And this is the second one, which is this one, which is the sequential. So basically, it's going to give us a sequence of colors based on the original 6 colors that we picked. Well, the next thing I'm going to do is either I assign manually each one of those colors, or I assign the color palette right to this. And once I click apply, those colors are going to change, right? And as you can see, automatically, we moved from inspiration from ChatGPT onto the preferences file on Tableau Desktop, and then our visualization is showing now. It's actually showing the color palette that we created. So super important. Once again, here's the GPT. Basically, you can take another screenshot of this, or you can actually scan the code, right? Thank you very much. It's super quick, but I just wanted to show you how it works. And not only thank you for being here. If you have any questions, I would like to invite you. I'm actually completing the ebook about color mastery and about the whole presentation. And also I'm going to add the whole presentation, at the Tableau conference for members. It's going to be free as well. So I invite you to join. Here's the code. And as soon as the ebook is ready, which is hopefully by the end of the month, we are going to send it to you free of charge. So any questions? Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, Pablo. It was really great having you. So there are few quick questions in the chat room, and but just for the sake of time, I would really appreciate it if you could just answer the questions in the chat room, just like type out the answers, so
Yep.
Will and Cristian can go ahead with their presentations, please. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
No
We
problem.
really loved your demo. This was really nice. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Take care.
And thank you. And next we have Will and Christian. They'll be doing like amazing stuff for us. And yeah, we're tweeting Christian, by the way. Uh, so yeah, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. Okay, I am going to try and rattle through this pretty quick, But for context, so this is about Tableau Langchain as a project, part of the community, joining Tableau developers to help bring AI functionality, AI applications to, say, Tableau Server and Tableau Cloud. So this has been a really fun project that me and Christian have been part of, and we've got some super cool demos to show you. So a lot of this will be just giving you some context of what it does, a little bit behind under the hood of how the system works, Tableau Langchain works, and then we'll be diving in with Christian. Who's got an awesome demo for you. If we've got time, I can show you some of the stuff I've been doing, and then hang around to the end where we'll show you where you can go and get in touch and get involved, and even join the project like me and Christian have been as well. I've also seen like Joe Constantino is here, who is our like project manager at Tableau, who's been part of this project, really like flying the flag. So a big shout out to Joe for this. And if you've got any questions or any corrections for me, Joe, you can put them in the chat. But this is all my simplest sort of way of talking through where we've been going in terms of the scene. So Tableau has been producing these different AI-powered experiences over the last 3 years. So you will have seen things like Tableau Pulse have come up to Tableau Cloud. You have Tableau Agent that in like dashboards or chats where you can go and ask questions to your data to go and create those charts. And then if you were there at the conference or you saw any of it, use Tableau Next, really top of mind at the moment in terms of new AI functionality coming from Tableau. However, there's one issue with all of these is that they're really only for a cloud customer. If you're on Tableau Cloud, great, you can start using some of these applications. But if you're on server like me, there's kind of reasons you're on server for like the security, or you don't want to put your data on the cloud. So actually, if you want AI with your data, uh, you can't really use these products here without migrating to the cloud, which is a real shame. But this is a great opportunity for Tableau Langchain, where you can actually have these experiences. So in terms of the high level view of where Tableau Langchain is, so you will have content on your Tableau server or your Tableau cloud. You will have different data sources, different dashboards, all this great content on your server. What we're doing with this project is saying, well, can you have like an AI model of choice? Like we've been seeing a lot of ChatGPT here tonight. We've got Claude, we've got Olama, so you could host your own models. So bring your own model of choice to connect to your Tableau content. So we have been using Langchain. Langchain is a framework. As you saw Tristan, he was able to connect Tableau content to ChatGPT. We're using Langchain. It's quite a modern framework for connecting to AIs. And so this project is taking this content and passing it over to an AI model of your choice. Okay, so why? Why would you want to do that? what good's coming of it? Well, there's two things that come out really that we've been able to develop is these external AI applications. So bringing this data you have in Tableau, the Tableau data you trust, combining this with AI to bring it to an actual external AI application, and then forging like some new experiences in Tableau as well. So taking some of the functionality of some of these AI models and bringing it back to Tableau. I can give you a couple examples of this that we've seen that are available today. And of course, yes, didn't forget that. It's all within your own security constraints. So it can be within your own sort of local network as well. So again, if you don't want to be sending your data to ChatGPT, you can have your own locally hosted model. Olama is like one option for that as well. So as a highly flexible sort of way of developing AI applications for your data that perform to your own security constraints. Okay, we saw a couple of these. So there is one site at the moment. So this was developed by Stephen Price, who's been a lead developer on the project, embedtableau.com. You see here, there's this sort of chat module that's come up where you can actually have a conversation with an AI model about this Tableau data here. which is like a new way of like we've embedded Tableau content here, and now we can actually go and have a conversation with that. And that's actually a live site. I'm going to go and put a link to that in the chat so you can go and have a look. But don't go too far because we also saw ways in which Tableau we can have AI conversations in Tableau. We've seen this from the keynote where you can actually have a dashboard extension and actually go and have that AI conversation in a viz extension in the same dashboarding environment as well. So these are two ways that out in the wild. Obviously, me and Cristian have been doing our own things as well. So we've got our own applications, which I'm really excited to share. And just a little bit more under the hood. I'm getting too excited to see your demo, Cristian. But some of the ways in which this can work. So when we talk about an AI agent and what it can do, how you actually improve the functionality of these things is, or preventing some of those hallucination, is given access to different tools. So you've been hearing people talk about the data dev community or the APIs that are being produced. These are effectively going to be some of the tools that we're leaning on to help our AI agent go and perform the right actions. So what we're effectively doing is you have like an AI model. This may be, say, ChatGPT. This may be your Claude. Will then have access to different tools that it could go and do to perform different actions. So your AI model will take on, say, a user query. Say, what was the top performing product this year? And it will go and understand from its range of tools that it has of what tool should I use to answer that question. In that case, what's like the top selling product? It would be, let's go to VizQL data service, which is a new API for querying your data. So we'll be able to query that data and return the data to you. Okay. Obviously, there's a lot more out there in terms of like functionality, as well as bringing in some of the third-party ones from the wider Langchain community. But if you've got any questions of that, leave them in the chat. I'll get to those as and when. But I want to get on to Cristian. I'm going to hand over to Cristian just to give a little intro to himself and then show us your demo, Cristian.
Thank you, Will. I am Colombian. I live in Tampa, Florida. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. It's my first year as a Tableau visionary, and I am a Tableau Data Dev ambassador for 4 or 5 years, and really active in the community. As you see here, I also work a lot with the Comunidatos community, that is Spanish, and Data Dev is community talk. And we have also the challenge called Data Dev Quest. A part of that, I am really happy that I am working in one really amazing company that is CO Matrix, that is a Tableau partner. And that is why I'm. Then, if you want, we can continue. Let me share. Can you see my desktop, right? I cannot hear you.
Yes, I can hear that. I can see that. I mean,
thank you. Then the first is, hey, this project was amazing. It was a long project that we was working, basically, Joe Cosastino as a PM, Steve Price as the architect, Joseph and Anton as the person who is development more in PI, and Will and me as a help from the community. Then if you want to join to this project, these are the links. And if in another moment you want to know more about that, basically we can connect directly by linking. Then the demo that I'm going to show is one that is related with complex data. Then I am a Marvel fan, in general, any comics fans, and then specific with Marvel, I found this workbook. And this workbook made by Stefana, that I love it because I have a complex data inside. The only thing is that I want to know more stuff that is not easy to show it in the default Tableau solutions. And to clarify what is this, or the context of this, is basically is giving all the characters that are related by the movies. Then basically to know, here is saying that Richard has 18 other characters that are with them by connected by movies. Then I was thinking what I can do with that. And there are two technologies that I used in my demo in the conference in San Diego. One is called VDS, that is vSQL Data Services, and another is called Langchain. VDS will allow us to connect to the data, and then basically the first that I did is bring to my sandbox, my something that you can get in the development program, and basically I installed the workbook that Safana published, and I separate the data using a published data source. Then in this published data source, I can get all the list of the characters and the connection between them as a front end tool. And using that, basically I create this. This is a representation of all the characters that are interconnected by the movies. And as you see, it's a really complex data. My son loved it because he said that looks like a Spider-Man web. And then from there, I was more like a digging what I can do with that. Then that is BDS who allow me to bring the data. But apart of that, I want to know more about what I can do with AI. And because the project that we was working, Langchain, basically I can do some questions to the chat box that is there and connect and say, hey, give me some information about the data set. And then if I come to here, you can see the data set is published by me and internally has 213 characters. Then basically it's going to connect to the database, it's going to connect to the data source, it's going to say, hey, this one is the unique names that is there. And then I can begin to do a little more complex questions. Like give me like now that I want to know is something that Tableau can also provide, that is the list of powers abilities using some dimensions. Then basically this table that is here is going to replicate it using the simple question. Until here, nothing is new compared with that, with ChatGPT and other examples. But now begin the fun to me. The second part is, hey, and this idea comes from Joe that say, hey, all of this is connecting chatbots. Then what about create an interconnection with the visualization? And then I asked it, hey, where is Goose? And it's going to connect there and show me what is good. And from here, I can get more information and see with my eyes who is related with that. And also it's bringing the full list too. The next one is about this one that is going to show me Spider-Man as did with Goose. But the interesting thing for me here is that if you notice, Spider-Man is wrote Spider Space Man, but the data is Peter Parker / Spider -Man. Then one of the biggest issues with the data in analytics is around matching the data. I mean, humans understand really well that we are referring to Spider-Man, but in the past was really difficult to connect and blend information because it's not matching with exactly the name. The other part of the example is, okay, another issue that we have normally in our company is that when we are trying to get more information about the data, it's not available in the data source, then we are stuck. Basically, if I am searching, hey, this one is my characters, and I want to know more about this person, I cannot know it because I am limited with the data source that it is. In this example, I am showing that this is not in the data set. And then that do is like first try to go to the data set and found, and if not found it, then continue going to internet and get more information about that. Then this can get us a lot of potential to organize and see more data. Is going to expand what we can do right now. And to close the presentation, I want to show you this. Now, for me, it's more analytical thing around complex data. As you saw here, it's not easy to understand the relation with all of them. But then let's do an example about the Starks. Then the first one I'm going to take is Tony and Howard. and filtering these two, basically you saw that I have a lot of people interconnected between them because Tony Stark is one of the main characters in the movies. The another person that I want to bring is the rest of the family. For example, the daughter and the mother. And then these two persons, is going to, I want to do this analysis. I want to know which one are the relation between Tony Stark and his father, with removing the ones that are related with the daughter and the mother. Then this part that is here is a little complex query to understand which one is these people that is here. Then this visualization allow me to do this type of analysis, but a part of that, the AI that we built it also help me to bring me this data, and also is going to go to the internet and is going to try to understand why. Then in this example, the first part that do using the part of the VDS really, not the AI, is more like selecting which one are these lists, and then I can use it. And the part of that is going to search why, and the why is found that between them, basically almost everyone comes in the Iron Man 2 movies. Then it's a really good insight for us. And that's something that we cannot do right now with the type of technology that we have. Then it's going to expand a lot. All of that is possible because Langchain, AI, and BDS. Thank you for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Cristian. Okay, folks, I'm just going to do my little portion of the demo. So Cristian has been showing us like how really you can use the tools, especially like VDS, for querying the data. In my case, sometimes we can query data sets, but I have a real trouble of actually sometimes finding data sets. So I want to welcome you all to the Information Labs Tableau server account. This is our demo site. And as you can see, I've got loads of results for different data here, and I'm really interested in starting like a new project. I want to go and find some data. So I'm going to go and find my content type. I'm going to go down to data sources. I've got loads here. I've got 300 different data sources to go and pick from. But I got like say an interest in sort of like the world of like medicine and healthcare, and I think that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to search for say medicine, and I get no results back. Okay, it's not an issue. I can actually go in there and search for say hospitals, and I get no data sets. And then maybe I can go and search for something more general like healthcare, and I get nothing back. Now, at this point, I'm going to be thinking, well, this is it. There's no data here. I might as well just go somewhere else, go and find myself another data source, go and bring that in, go and add that to my Tableau server. But there is data here. What is happening is because the Tableau server sort of search functionality is it showing its age a bit here in terms of it's a very sort of fuzzy match in terms of search, but using new functionality with vector search and embedding models with AI embedding models, we can actually make a much better search tool for finding content on your own Tableau server. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have my Tableau server up on one side. I'm going to have my other tool up here. So this is a search tool that I've built using AI and Tableau Langchain. So I've got search for healthcare here. I can do the same search over here. I can do a search for healthcare. And what I can see is I get results back. And I actually can see quite a lot of like things, data sets that have been really hidden from me on my own server. So this AI model, the embedding model, it's been trained on all the different text that's available on the internet, so it understands different semantics or different meanings between different words a bit better than like a fuzzy text search could do. So you'll see here things like medical costs is being picked up. We did medicine, that didn't get picked up, but I can find it here. It also understands the context of things. So NHS prescriptions, so that's the National Health Service in the UK, prescriptions, that's definitely something to do with healthcare. I can go down, I think these all look good. And then I find this one, HR reporting period. It just doesn't feel like a healthcare data set. And when I go to the data sets, I can actually have a look. So if I go and say let's go and edit a data source, let's actually go and have a look. I can see actually it says HR reporting period here. If I can see the column information here actually relates to sick days per person, sort of absences from work as a result of sickness. So it does have relations to like people's health, despite not having the obvious name. And this was for me, I was interested in this. I never knew it existed, and I was able to find it using this tool. So a real nice improvement over like the typical sort of search experience you would get on your Tableau server. But we can go one step further. So now we don't generally just search for like individual keywords anymore. We can actually search for entire queries. So I could have the question say, for reference, like how do I improve my health? So as a query, how do I improve my health? And I've got some data sources come back. I've got 16 results. That sounds good. I've just opened this up and ooh, this is a bit strange. So I've got my superstore come back. I've got cryptocurrencies. I've got restaurants. I mean, restaurants maybe, but these other ones, I'm not really sure they're going to actually improve my health. Uh, let's see if I go and take this into my vector search. I'm going to have a look. And again, I've got some of the medical costs one back, but I've got this information on Craig's Fitbit activity. So my colleague Craig has got one of those smartwatch trackers called a Fitbit and has gone and uploaded all his exercise data to our Tableau server. And so it's made this connection by, say, doing exercise is probably a likely place where you can go and improve your health. So this is cool. This is sort of really helpful for me to discover these new data sets as well. But it does come to a flaw. Like there's some cases where it won't work, and this is one of those cases where if I was to search for say superstore, we've got loads of superstores. We've got 66 different results for superstore, tons of duplication going on here. And if I was to say look for superstore on my vector search, it's no better. I still get tons of results for the same thing. So what we have been doing with this vector search is we're finding the similarity. So how similar this word superstore is from these different search results and ordering them that way. So I had an idea of whether we could take the similarity of how this data source compares to this data source, and in fact every other data source, and we could build up a picture on this Tableau server for how similar the data sources are to each other. So I could then go and build this little web page. So another network diagram. I'm sorry, like me and Tristan both planned these things and didn't tell each other we were both doing network diagrams. But what this is showing is how connected or how similar the data sources are to each other. The size will indicate how many workbooks are connected to them. The color indicates when they were last had a refresh or data update. This is our demo site, so it's largely like all gray, so there's nothing changing here. You should be drawn in. UK house prices had a lot of workbooks associated with it, but we can then see that it's quite connected to say the houses price index, to like different house price sort of indicators. So very similar little data sources coming here. You see we start getting these little clusters of information. So we get some of the healthcare data back here. So different prescription data, GP practice, this all healthcare data. And then we have this big lump in the middle, which is just, this is all superstore. This is all the different superstores coming here. Even some that aren't called superstore, but Python test is here. And that behind the scenes, that is superstore. We can tell that because of how similar it is to everything else. So these were like different ways that I could use an AI model with the Langchain framework to actually go and connect to my Tableau server and actually build some other tools. So tools that could help my user in terms of finding content, but tools as in for admins and people to actually go and manage this content. So now I can actually go and find here some of those redundant data sources as well to go and clean those up. Okay. I know we're a bit tight on time, so we're just going to wrap it up here with like the call to action. Really, this has been sort of like an amazing project that me and Cristian have been a part of, but it doesn't just need to be the two of us. There is certainly space for more of the community to come up with their own ideas, their own feedback and interest in building these AI applications. So we've been part of a great team, part of Tableau, having weekly calls, talking through the project, getting the code up and running, getting these demos together. There is a QR code that would take you to the GitHub page where a lot of the code all lives, and you can go and get started working on developing AI applications for your organizations. But there's also a Slack channel where we're there, sort of generally like keeping things together in terms of having back and forth in terms of building up these demos. There's also the actually go and join the data dev community as always. For me, I'm also putting together a blog for this to help people get started with building up Langchain with Tableau Langchain. That'll be releasing shortly and I'll be advertising soon. Share the Slack channel link. If you are on the Tableau Slack or the data dev Slack, I think you have to be on data dev. It is just Tableau Langchain, so I'll have a look for that link in a sec. But yeah, yeah, awesome. If you want to have a look quickly on GitHub, this is all GitHub code repo, a little readme of how to get started. But one of the key places I would advise people to go is to go and have a look at some of the notebooks. So these were from the hands-on training sessions that were performed at TC. So these will walk you through setup, how you can actually go and get started. These are really good like notebooks, and like the hands-on training was very well attended, and very well performed, in my opinion, when I was there. So it really walks you through how you can get set up. So people on the hands-on training had their own virtual machine put together. Option B is like how you can go and set it up yourself on your own environment. So plenty of ways that you can go and get started there. But places, yeah, Cristian's just gone and shared that link to the Slack channel there in the chat. So plenty of ways for you to also get involved. But yeah, we would love to grow this little community of like AI developers in Tableau with this framework. And we have more little projects like this coming in the future. So, but that is all from me on this one. If there's any questions and anyone had, happy to answer them. But I know it's getting late in the day. But yeah, I'll leave it there.
I'm not seeing any question about the Langchain specifically. A part of the how to connect to the Slack, I already shared the link. But we are really happy to, because we know that this is a heavy topic, then we are really happy if you can connect with us by linking. We can answer any questions too.
So thank you everyone for joining in. We've come to the end of the event today. Thank you to our amazing speakers. This was a fantastic time. Thank you to everyone who participated, asked questions, and was just a great vibe in the comment section. We're so grateful to have you. The link is in the chat if you want to watch the recording. The recording should be available within the week. So we'll also make posts on it on all our social media platforms, and you can always keep in touch with us. Please don't forget to join our channel, follow all the speakers, and follow all the co-leads of this talk. Once again, it was lovely having you. Goodbye, and we hope to see you at the next one, which will be in the next quarter. Thank you. Bye, guys.